disregard idea number 27, disregard of traditional terrorism as a political strategic choice. There are various concepts you have to understand before we discuss it in the light of democracy. You have to understand first what is traditional terrorism. Now, there are 4 waves of terrorism so far since terrorism began. The birth of terrorism is the French Revolution, right? Now, up to date, we've had 4 waves of terrorism. We've had an anarchical wave, we have had an anti-colonial wave, a left-wing wave, and now we are having a religious wave of terrorism, right? Now, terrorism in Russia that occurred after the anarchical wave, now this is the anti-colonial wave, was actually a very good thing. Terrorism was used to champion for individual rights. It was not necessarily violent. Violence as a concept has been introduced in terrorism in the contemporary era. So when I'm talking about traditional terrorism, I am referring to that form of terrorism as was practiced in Russia, where people engaged in airing their views without necessarily getting into torturing people mentally or causing fear, the element of fear. Are we together? Now, the as a political strategic choice is a form in which you use as a people or a government to induce change in how things are done. Politics are the various decisions we make to change or to influence the division of scarce resources. So, using that form of terrorism to influence how you get your things, you get access to scarce resources, is indeed very nice if you are to use that form of terrorism. If you are to use terrorism that is non-violent and that does not encompass the element of fear. But however, we've seen in the Sinai province in Egypt, we've seen them try to use the traditional form of terrorism to petition the government to allow them govern themselves. However, it did not work well, so it was disregarded there. They actually tried to man their own security, to be able to be to engage, to actively be involved in ensuring peace in the Sinai province. They were disallowed. They were not given permission, courtesy of their president. So, this disregard to that form of traditional terrorism is actually works towards making sure that there's terrorism in the society. Terrorism in the contemporary society where they engage in war, now that you've refused to listen to them. At the end of the day, the democracy that they were fighting for, using peaceful terrorist means, ends up not hard. At the end of the day, it becomes a challenge.
Great.